If you're new to the Trials franchise, Trials Rising is a great place to start, giving players every opportunity to master the art of racing and platforming on a motorcycle governed by finely tuned physics. With controls no more complicated than gas, brake and the positioning of your rider, you'll need to drive from left to right across over-the-top obstacle courses as quickly and flawlessly as possible. Exciting, inventive and deceptively difficult tracks have always been at the heart of what makes Trials games great, and with over 100 stages, Trials Rising knocks it out of the park with its world tour of exotic locales. The futuristic, samey cityscapes from Trials Fusion have been ditched in favour of stages set from around the globe. From Egyptian ruins to the Great Wall of China, American skate parks to Russian missile silos, each stage feels distinct thanks to the excellent theming and gorgeous backdrops. There's a ton of depth to each level as well, with all kinds of chaotic background activities you'll spot from the corner of your eye. You can also go for gold in over-the-top skill games featuring absurd circumstances, like launching yourself off explosive barrels for maximum distance. Or fiddle around in the fully fledged level editor featuring environmental objects from throughout the series' history. Besides the globe-trotting premise, Trials Rising does its players a massive service with the fantastic University of Trials tutorial mode. Hosted by Professor Fat Shady, an expert Trials YouTuber now immortalised as your in-game instructor. These test stages gently ease you into the basics with helpful voiceovers, then eventually ramp up to the kinds of physics-dependent manoeuvres you'll need to make it past the endgame tracks and their extreme difficulty. The innate sense of progression, sharper skills, mechanical mastery, and the confidence to take on whatever a track throws at you next is the driving force of the Trials series, so it's baffling that Trials Rising feels the need to bog you down with a concrete, cumbersome progression system as you gain experience and level up in order to unlock new courses. Each time you level up, you're awarded a Gear Crate loot box containing cosmetic costume pieces, stickers, and rider animations. These are largely inoffensive as loot boxes go, though I stopped opening them entirely when I realised that their contents, typically uninteresting stickers that you can slap on your bike, would never spark joy.
Wow.
But from the very start, you'll encounter quests called contracts, doled out by static images of NPCs hailing from real-world biking brands. Initially, these contracts may seem like optional, amusing diversions, asking you to do special tasks like beating a specific time, showboating with some flips and wheelies, or finishing a level with no more than a few faults. But if you want to see everything Trials Rising has to offer, I assure you that finishing contracts for their precious XP rewards is very much a requirement. The contracts themselves are poorly balanced. Some are drop dead easy but yield tons of XP, while others require masterful driving yet offer barely anything in return. Yes, it feels incredible to finally ace a particularly tough contract, like scoring gold while doing a certain number of front flips and never letting off the gas. But again, having that sense of accomplishment boiled down to a piddly XP value can really take the oomph out of your satisfaction. From about level 60 on, you'll be desperate to just jump ahead and try out some new tracks, instead of eking out XP with contracts in stages you've already conquered. If there's anything I hate more than the levelling system, it's Trials Rising's insistence that I participate in stadium races. You can think of these as boss fights, where you race against other AI riders on multi-lane tracks across 3 heats, until only one of 8 bikers stands triumphant. On their own, these races are just fine, but the stadium finals that you need to beat in order to see the grand finale are utterly hellish. You need to survive all 3 races in a row, and if you lose, it's back to the very beginning, which completely runs counter to the Trials principle that copious checkpoints exist to let players of all skill levels enjoy each track at their own pace. In stadium finals, one fault is essentially an instant restart, trapping you in a cycle of load screens as you replay heats over and over again versus near flawless opponents. Trials Rising's regular method of multiplayer is nothing too special, racing in real time against other players represented by translucent ghost riders, or zooming across the multi-laned stadium stages in local play. But Trials Rising makes an ingenious addition with the tandem bike, letting 2 players ride the same elongated motorcycle and pray that they can coordinate their movements enough to make it out alive. It's genuinely hilarious, and I can't wait to see what speedrunners do with it. But even with the clumsy progression system, Trials Rising's vibrant tracks, tight controls and excellent tutorials are some of the best in the series. We give it 4 stars.